Welcome, future doctors, to another episode of the Future Minority Doctor Podcast with Dr. Sulma
and Marina, where we bring you conversations to empower and inspire you to contribute to your community and the world by becoming a doctor.
All right. Hello again, future minority doctors. Thank you as always for joining us for another one of our episodes. Today we thought it would be good to talk about a topic that affects a lot of us and sometimes can even turn us away from the pursuit of becoming a doctor. We will be discussing how to manage family and cultural expectations. All right, so another common cultural concern in thinking about being a doctor is it's just too much work, or our people aren't doctors because you can't be what you can't see, right? I know I didn't see any minority doctors growing up. Shoot, I didn't even go to the doctor because I didn't have medical insurance. Doctors were definitely not part of my community and not something I identified with. It is really hard to visualize yourself being a doctor if you do not see doctors that look like you. So firstly, I want to address the common response we get in our community about it's too much work. I think these feelings are often related to the lack of academic preparation that we see in our communities. Underrepresented minorities are not as well prepared for the sciences. Firstly, in low socioeconomic communities, from kinder to 12th grade all the way to high school, we have poorer academic resources. In high school, there may be a lack of guidance in taking the university requirements in high school to prepare you. If you go through the JC community college route, there is often a lack of guidance ensuring you are taking the correct pre-med courses and classes to better prepare you once you transition to a competitive four-year university. This then leads to college underrepresented minorities having lower grades in sciences due to this lack of lifelong preparation. Then adding to it more is the poor advising we get from our own community resources. Since there is limited access to medical professionals in our communities, underrepresented minorities rely heavily on what those around us tell us, like a counselor, a family member, a religious member, or friends. For example, if you get a bad grade in a pre-med or science or math course, we believe it. If our school counselor, a family member, religious member discourages us, we get a negative reassurance that since we did bad in a science or math class, there's no way we can ever become doctors. And this is so not true. So as you can see, all of these things contribute to these beliefs about why it is uncommon for minorities to be doctors in our communities and the thought that it is just too hard. Now, in addressing you can't be what you can't see, the identification of a minority being able to identify oneself as a doctor is largely impacted by the lack of representation or limited exposure. Guys, the reality is that any underrepresented minority can be a doctor, but it is hard to see it because we just don't see it. I challenge all of you to start surrounding yourself with images of real people who are underrepresented minority doctors. You have the advantage of the internet. Search for doctor groups that belong to cultures that you relate with. Look up on TikTok all the underrepresented minority doctors that post videos. Read books about journeys of minority doctors. Increase your podcast's library to hear about doctors with the culture you identify with. The more you look and listen, the more you will see yourself as a doctor in the future. If all of you listening today do become doctors, we will start reflecting our community, ethnic, social, and cultural makeup in the medical world. I wanted to remind everyone, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can go to www.futureminoritydoctor.com. Peace and love, y'all.
Bye.